The Winter Olympics have given us some unforgettable moments.
Like the time Kurt Russell led a ragtag U.S. hockey team to victory over the unstoppable Soviets. Or how John Candy helped the Jamaican bobsled team capture our hearts.
Wait, no.
Or when Margot Robbie orchestrated an attack on rival Nancy Kerrigan to keep her off the figure skating team.
You realize those were movies, right?
Huh?
Yeah, those were all actors portraying real events.
So Kurt Russell and John Candy weren't at the Olympics?
No.
What about Margot Robbie?
Definitely not.
I could have sworn.
But you do bring up a good point, though. Because the Winter Olympics have given us some moments so unforgettable
That Hollywood just couldn't resist.
Exactly. And since the Olympics are upon us once again, we too are getting into the spirit of the medals, the snow, the questionable ski outfits to bring you an entire episode devoted to the odd and curious traditions and stories that make up these games.
Are you sure Margot Robbie wasn't there?
Yeah, positive.
Oh.
So welcome to the podcast that answers some of the questions you've always wondered about.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
Hi, I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for joining us. We begin our Olympic episode the way all winter or summer games begin, with the opening ceremonies. Months of rehearsals, thousands of performers, every movement timed to the millisecond. But have you always wondered, have the opening ceremonies ever gone uncomfortably wrong? Well, the answer is an Olympic-sized yes. There have been several examples, both winter and summer games, but a gold medal would probably go to what you might call the WKRP turkey drop of international sport.
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
Okay, no turkeys were involved here, but the results were not pretty. In 1988, as was tradition, white doves were released as a symbol of peace, unity, and hope. But that year, things took an unusual turn. Once released, many of the doves perched atop the cauldron. And then when that huge Olympic flame was finally lit, you can pretty much guess what happened. Now, at least on WKRP, we heard,
"The turkeys are hitting the ground like sacks of wet cement."
But on the worldwide Olympic broadcast, TV did what it does best.
Quick, cut to something else!
What exactly?
Anything! Except birds. Oh, and fire.
Yeah, we pretended not to notice. And needless to say, we haven't had live birds involved in the opening ceremonies ever since. And then there was the 2014 Winter Games in Sochi. As the world watched, there was one very important man in the front row, Russian President Vladimir Putin. The finale of the ceremony, 5 suspended lighted snowflakes were set to open one by one into 5 colossal, majestic Olympic rings. At least that was the plan. But the reality? 4 Olympic rings and what looked like an asterisk. Backstage, a programmer realized something was very wrong.
I swear it worked on my laptop.
Now, we don't know what Putin's reaction was.
Nyet.
And as for the person responsible, not sure of that either. But we like to believe he now lives a quiet, fulfilling life somewhere very far away, where the Wi-Fi is bad and the snowflakes always open. Now, if this is what happens during the opening ceremonies, you might wonder what weirdness awaits when the games actually begin. Well, we'll slide down that slippery slope next.
It's the Always Wondered podcast.
The Olympics are filled with competitions of all types. But have you always wondered, what were some of the games that did not survive the cut? Oh, trust me, it's a smorgasbord of strangeness. For instance, ski joring. Okay, picture water skiing only on snow. And not pulled by a boat, but by a horse. That game was put back in the barn in 1928. Ski ballet. Now think figure skating, but on skis. Imagine trying to pirouette while racing downhill at 80 miles an hour. Even the Olympic Committee said something like,
"Look, synchronized swimming is weird enough, but this, it's just too much."
And it was quietly escorted out of the chalet in 1992. Now, a few others. Live pigeon shooting, cannon shooting, and even art competitions including painting, sculpture, and poetry. Not very exciting to watch, but I'm sure the arguments with the judges were quite entertaining.
My metaphor was much stronger than hers.
Okay, so what about the athletes? Have you always wondered who was the most unlikely gold medal winner ever? Well, there have been a lot of Cinderella stories, but in 2002, there was a gold medal that no one saw coming. The sport? Short track speed skating. A race where 5 grown adults strap something that looked like knives to their feet and try their best not to fall. And from Australia, a country best known for its beaches, sunshine, and for saying,
Wait, we have ice?
arrived Stephen Bradbury. He was older than the competition, not as fast, but he had a strategy. Stay at the back and let the chaos unfold. Now, crashes are common in speed skating, and round after round, as skaters went down, Bradbury managed to advance. Believe it or not, he made it all the way to the finals where he lined up against the heavy favorites. But he stuck to his plan and immediately dropped into last place.
With Bradbury sitting in the back.
He skated wide, avoided contact, and waited. And on the final lap, it happened. All four skaters collided. All went down in a single pile. Bradbury glided safely past and took the gold.
Gold medal.
Yep, just like the tortoise and the hare, there was Stephen Bradbury. Living proof that sometimes slow and steady wins the race, especially when everyone else in front crashes spectacularly.
The Always Wondered podcast.
We all know the iconic logo, the Olympic rings, the timeless symbol of unity and harmony. But have you always wondered, why exactly are there 5 Olympic rings?
It's quite simple, really.
We are told very confidently.
The rings represent the continents of the world.
Fair enough. So let's add them up. North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, and Antarctica. That's 7 continents. So what gives?
Antarctica has no permanent residents. Therefore, we at the International Olympic Committee never count them.
Okay, we'll let that one slide. So that brings us down to 6. How do we get to 5?
That too is elementary. North America and South America are just one continent.
Wait, 1?
Yes, as any school child will tell you. They're connected by an isthmus.
An isthmus?
Correct.
Oh, you mean like the isthmus that connects Asia and Africa?
Well,
Or what about the 1,500 miles of terrain that connects Europe and Asia?
I believe you're missing the point.
The point being that you could walk from Paris to Beijing and never fall into an ocean?
Well, yes. That's technically true.
Yeah.
But it would take a long time.
Okay, creative counting aside, the Olympic rings were designed back in 1913, which brings us to a theory that is hard to shake. The theory is this: they didn't start with continents, they started with a very nice-looking logo.
5 rings is balanced, elegant, symmetrical. It truly is perfection.
Yes, sir. But there are 7 continents.
Who's counting?
But, sir, should North and South America really be considered as one?
Look, if I know anything about Americans, it's that they love a good BOGO deal.
In the end, geography was bent, logic was slightly twisted, and the world was politely urged to stop asking questions. So today we're left with 5 rings, 7 continents, and admittedly, one cool logo that has stood the test of time.
The Always Wondered podcast.
Well, we could not end our Olympics episode without a salute to the Olympic mascots. Lovable symbols to inspire children, sell plush toys, and apparently designed by people who have never met children. So when it comes to mascots, have you always wondered?
What exactly am I looking at?
Torino in 2006 gave us Nev and Gliz. They look like they were designed by an ice tray.
They didn't really have faces. It was more of a suggestion.
2014 Sochi gave us a trio of mascots, including a leopard and a rabbit. Now, while the rabbit said,
I like sports.
the leopard said,
I eat rabbits.
and in 1984, Sarajevo gave us a wolf, which feels less like
Welcome to the games.
and more like
Don't leave the village after dark.
Yep, sometimes they were less like mascots and more like fever dreams. But every Olympics has them, and it wouldn't be the games without them. Okay, quick reminder, new episodes come out every Friday. We would love for you to subscribe, and be sure to check us out on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. All right, as always, we leave you with one to ponder. This one is about the wild winter sport of skeleton, performed on a sled that looks like it was assembled during a coffee break. So have you always wondered, who decided that barreling down a hill headfirst at highway speeds with your face inches from the ice was a good idea? I don't know, but I have to admit, it's fun to watch. So enjoy the Olympics, and until next time, stay curious and keep wondering. I'm Rick Peterson. Thanks for listening.
The Always Wondered podcast.
If you like what you hear, please subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, and a review. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Feel free to offer suggestions for future topics or simply reach out to alwayswonderedpodcast@gmail.com.